Hi, welcome to the Hedra Band on Band. It is Sunday, 7 p.m, chatting to the motherfuckers in Ward 16. How are we doing, man? We good?
Oh, good, thank you. How you
Hell
doing?
yeah, man. All the better for being here, man, with you guys.
It's good to speak to new people
Yeah, man.
and not just be confined to a house. Well, yeah, but virtually.
Being like stuck indoors, man, like it sucks so hardcore, especially like I mean, this is the coolest thing like we're doing this show is, you know, talking to musicians, and like all of us have said, you know, just how much this sucks. It sucks so bad. So it's definitely
we've been singing about it. We've been singing about it for 5 years now. We're living it. It's like, no, I don't like it.
Yeah, no, ain't cool. Right, I know. What's this about as well? Like, you know, before lockdown, we was asking for a lockdown. You know, we wanted to be on our own. We wanted to have that muse, and now we realise it kind of sucks. So I don't know. Are we hypocrites? No, maybe.
It's when it's not sunny outside that's rubbish.
Yeah.
When it's sunny outside, it's amazing.
Barbecue weather. Exactly. That's what we need.
Yeah.
We need more
Well,
barbecue
we didn't
weather.
have to go to work. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Now it's like you can't go to the pub, but you can go to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's not fair. Come on, man. Like, we need to go to the pub to get through work, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah.
man,
Not before work.
I don't know.
I think that's the thing, innit? It's like the last year has been like everything fun, stop it.
Yeah.
Right? Everything that needs to be done, carry on and do it, you know.
Yeah.
But do it only if it's absolutely essential.
Yeah, do it with a frown. Don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like I don't consider the job I do as essential, but I was made to go in every single bloody day.
I thought you just said you were a maid, and I was just imagining you in like that really black fencing maid outfit.
Now you cannot get that out of your head now. Can you? No. I'm going to come and appear in one of your videos as a maid.
Yeah, it's got your logo on it and everything. Yeah.
Jim, I'd pay to see that.
Yeah.
Can we do that? Can we like if we do like a Halloween gig? Can you dress up as a French maid?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
it has to be done.
Oh well, wait, Camille, right? Can you write this down?
Yeah.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Right, that's good. We'll keep that one in the bank, and that'll go in my wank bank. Right. So, something I wanted to bring up like real quick is Camille has something that he wants to show you guys. And it's not his willy. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It's okay. We're a family-friendly show.
Oh, it's the original. The original EP.
Yep. I just.
I wonder where my CD went.
Yeah. That's rare.
You bastard!
I bought it that on one of our.
We're trying to erase that from existence. I hit some real bum notes on back and heart, so I was like, we need to make sure this doesn't exist anymore.
Oh no.
You know, it's amazing.
Camille uses that as a coffee stand.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I just want to say that that was the time when we played together in Lockstock.
Yeah, I was thinking about that before.
Unfortunately, we play on Saturday, on Sunday afternoon, and after that we just went back home. And I remember I saw the clown in a lady dress on a car park, and I couldn't actually stop looking. It's like, look, that was the time when Thomas and Chris was playing with us, and I spoke with guys. This guy's brilliant, you know. And I remember he played keyboard and accordion, I think. And the gentleman who's actually created that graphic for that album, for that EP, was actually next to us with merchandise, and it was amazing time, you know. I just wanna. I found that couple weeks ago, you know, in a car, and my wife was listening that in a car. I was listening that before. However, I just wanna mention that I have one.
That's old school EP. I actually remember. I was thinking about that before we came on about Lost Stock, and I couldn't remember what it was called. But I remember the first thing when I saw you guys play was. I think I spoke to you, Jim, said, I love those hats, because you had the logos that glowed.
That's right, yeah, we still do, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, that's awesome. And I think one of the things back then was we hadn't developed the show as much, so we were all wearing different clothes, and it was I think the uniformity that you had together. You know, you all look, although you weren't wearing the same stuff, you could tell you were all in the same band, and that was something that always stuck in the back of my head, and that's why we started to look more like all started to wear stripes and things like that. Was after seeing you guys and seeing how good it looked to all be uniform but a little bit different on stage.
Yeah, I mean the thing is we look like, you know, like home removal people. That's the thing. Whereas in like you guys have like a proper image, so.
Yeah, I think you've taken what we've done then and moved it to the next level of an actual performing band, rather than like what Sean was saying, some sort of security team, or home removal.
Yeah, guys, can you get that drunk guy out the front?
But you've got a consistent image that it provides you not only with something that's recognisable on stage, but it's good for marketing. And not many bands do that. You know, they have certain logo or whatever, but they don't. I don't think they exploit it as well as you guys do. So that was certainly something that I'd recognised. No, I've always thought about was how well that you marketed the band and
Jeez, man,
presented yourselves.
Thank you, man. Well, I mean, thank you to Jim, Jim Camille. I mean, those are the dudes that put all those kind of things in place for the, for the band that we have now. And, and it's funny. I think it's always cool, like when you meet guys who are into music and kind of doing the band thing, and you tend to find those that kind of just make the music, right? And they're out there like making, the stuff that they enjoy doing. But then you get the guys that maybe think of the stuff outside. So, there you go. No. Jim, you should be a children's entertainer. Oh, silly Uncle Jim.
Uncle Jim.
Yeah.
That's all she can say.
Gave me the finger.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought she was about to give him the bird. Yeah. Oh, Jim, don't teach naughty things. So how are you guys finding
finally an interview at my level?
Someone who can't ask you about putting yourself on stage. So
someone on the same level, like I said.
Yeah, I was gonna say, okay. There's a pun in there somewhere and I can't find it. But yeah, obviously, like with kind of like restrictions lifting a bit, like I think you're just starting to rehearse again, aren't you? Soon.
Yeah. We started again in December and then November, and then it locked down again.
Yeah.
But it was pretty difficult because we were shielding as well, so it wasn't just lockdown; it was proper strict lockdown. So we started about 3 weeks ago, and it was strange because of the album launch. The album was released last year, but we haven't played it as a band for ever because we kind of jammed it a little bit. We wrote it and demoed it at home, jammed it a couple of times, but then really put it. We recorded it in the studio separately, so it's now trying to get it up and running and getting to not only putting all the effort into getting the music right, but then also getting the stage production right, and we're working with the actors and scripting it and building all the props and the sets and stuff like that. So there's a load to do. It's good, but
can you give us a bit of an insight into that? Because obviously what you do it's not just about you get up on the stage and you play your guitars and play your drums and sing songs. There's so much more to it with what you do. So how do you go about doing that?
Well, I think it's developed and evolved since since you saw us at Lost Stock. When we've just released the second album, which is the second in the trilogy of the concept. And I think we got to a point where the first album we hadn't really discovered or realised what we wanted to, or how we wanted to present it. We had an idea that we wanted to be a bit theatric and mixed and try to project the storyline on stage. Yeah. But then I think it always felt like we were a band and then we were trying to do theatrics wherever we could. Yeah. Whereas there was a point in time where we actually realised if we could actually focus it more on being a theatrical production with the music in it, it allowed us to shift the emphasis a little bit on how we did it.
Yeah.
And so we've made it more, especially when we were writing the second album, we've gone into it specifically with the music and what the production of the stage should be at the same time, and that they both influenced how we wrote it. Whereas in the first album, it was kind of we played it, and then every gig we played, we thought we could add something here, and we kept bolting things on.
I get you.
Some things were good, some things were bad, and then we got actors involved, which made it a lot easier for us because it allowed us to focus on the music, and they could
Like
bring the props on and stuff and interact.
Yeah.
But with this, because we knew what the story arc was going to be and what the I guess the emotion was and things like that, we started from the very beginning thinking about how we wanted the stage to look, what we wanted the actors to do, and how ambitious we wanted to be.
Yeah.
But I guess the real challenge is because it's expensive, or we're poor, or one of the two. It's expensive and we're poor. We tend to do things in house, don't we? So everything that we do on stage and the costumes and the set, we build ourselves, and not very well, but we.
No, but there's so much I think that's even
Yeah.
better, right? Like.
Yeah, there's a lot more. It feels more personal,
Yeah, for sure.
and I think it's good to have control, and you certainly learn along the way, and I think you are able to build it around what your needs are, rather than someone else do something and then you try to shoehorn it in.
Yeah, you're in control of your art. You know what I mean? Like, and this is art at the end of the day. Like, what you're doing is genuinely art. Like, you know, there's like for me, like Code and Cambria is a band that I absolutely love, and they all of their songs tie in with like a comic book concept. And like as a drummer, that fucking blows my mind because I can only think of hitting shit. I can't think of like this amazing sphere of stuff. You know what I mean? Like that's the only way I can put it is, how do you think of how this guitar riff melds into the emotion of not only the lyrics but a story, and how does it hold weight amongst this story, and I think that's absolutely fascinating. So I really wanted to kind of obviously get your guys' opinion.
The first album was written definitely because Kerry, all the concept and everything is Kerry's work, and it's like there's about 4 or 5 different time streams running along, isn't it? Which is crazy. But I think the way the first album was written, the music was jammed and written, and then Kerry would put the lyrics on, which sometimes didn't help the emotional kind of context of what the song needed to be,
storyline
against what the lyrics were. But with this one, right from the beginning, Kerry would go, I want it to sound like this, or this is what this song needs to be like, and there's a story arc written out. It was loads easier for me as a guitarist, and not a fantastic guitar. I'm a bodger. So it was.
Oh man, like come on now.
Be like Camille.
No, but
you're Bodger, he's Badger.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And he was on drums as well. So, but it was much easier for me rather than having like a blank slate. Go, this is what let's write an album. Write me 10 songs. To have a story arc and know what the emotional elements were was so much easier for me to write things down and things.
Yeah,
And
it was kind of better that we had less people working on it as well. I think with the first one, not everyone was in the same mindset. Not everyone was into the idea of having a concept, and some people just wanted to be in a rock band, just wanted to wear jeans and t-shirts. Others were really into the theatrical concept and stuff. So there was constantly this battle when we were trying to write stuff, or when we were trying to organise the stage show or anything like that. Whereas now that it was predominantly me and Dr. von Stottenstein that wrote the second album, and we had Martin Crawley on board, who was doing bits with the keys and stuff. But for the most part, it was me and him night after night upstairs in our little room working on it, and it allowed us to kind of map everything out and then chop and change it and like take it away for the day, listen to it. So it became
It was, yeah, we dropped it. We left the egos behind, I think, which was not with the first album. I don't know how you guys are, but and you know how you guys write and stuff like that. But with the first album, there was 5 or 6 individuals that all wanted to be heard at one point in time on the album.
Yeah.
Which it took, so it meant that the first album took about a year to mix and master because it was just nitpicking.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you get that mix back, and someone's unhappy because their guitar's
and
slightly lower. You know, on this part, and whatever.
Yeah, and
cool.
so with this one, we went in with a clear idea. This is what we want to sound like, and we didn't compromise a lot.
No,
but we didn't
that's
feel
awesome.
like we needed to either. If you know what I mean, we didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't have fights or battles about what levels it should be. We listened to it and thought, if it makes a song sound better, turn the guitar down, or you know, if something needs to be turned up, then do it. You know, and do it for the sake of the song rather than the, you know, the individual.
Yeah, I think we did a lot more research as well this time with the sound. Like we were listening to other bands and listening to what comes through and what sits at the back and things, and we really knew what sound we wanted before we went into the mixing process.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. I'd love to bring obviously Mart and Jim and Camille into that a little bit as well. But I mean, like I totally agree. I think it's so hard as well, isn't it? When I think certainly as like a fledgling like musician, when you go, and I always describe this process of being stuck inside the fishbowl, and you can't see outside, but you need other people to look inside and see what's really happening. And yeah, for sure. I think like certainly like I can only speak personally as a musician. Like the older I got, the more I had to realize I have to step outside and see it for what it is. Certainly as a drummer, you know, I find guitarists are very particular about their tone and the way things sound and the way things move. But like as a drummer, I'm very, you know, proud of my instrument, and I want to have. I think the drums should sound the same as the guitars in that respect. You know, I'm very passionate about like my drum tones, and you know, and I hear like the latest Slipknot album, like the drums on it sound like pots and pans. They sound horrendous, and this really bugs me. But yeah, for sure, like the older you get, the more you have to step back and go, okay, well, if that's how the music needs to sound, then this is the way it needs to sound. Whether my instrument doesn't sound how I want it to, if it sounds what's best for the song, then this is the way to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure. Like I'd love to like open the room up a bit and get kind of Jim, Camille, and Mart. Like, please tell us a bit about kind of like your influences and what you think about that.
Well, we've always struggled with like members coming in and out of the band, as you know, and
Always.
for me, it's kind of I'm you're gonna hate me saying this, Camille, but for me, it's like I hate the sound of having just one guitarist do their bit, and you know, like I'll get these demos from Camille saying I've done all this, and you know, it sounds like this. This is how I want it to be, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking there's no other musicians in here. It's just you. And I love the live feel. I love the feeling of, you know, this guitarist is on the left, this guitarist on the right. Then there's another bassist, and you know we've just not really had that opportunity, because every time we fucking record stuff, someone joins a band and then they fucking leave again before we get to actually get in the studio. Especially in the last couple of years, it's been really, really difficult for us. So yeah, I don't really know what to say on it. Really, we've
been similar to you. It's like over since we released the first album in 2017, we've had about seven drummers. We haven't been able to have a drummer stay for more than a few weeks, have we? For one reason or another, we've had a bassist leave, keyboard player left, and Martin, who's there, is our, you know, who's joined, you know, since we released the new album. So we've had exactly the same, and it get to a point where, because we'd gigged so many times, and we felt we were ready to write a new album, and then a drummer would leave, and you know, drummers are so fucking hard to replace. You know, a good drummer, a committed drummer.
I was to say they're wankers, and I was like, yep, that's me.
Yeah. But also,
the trouble is,
you know,
they are in so many ways. Drummers are such wankers because
we
they know how
good
they are.
And we've had another guitarist leave as well. So we've out off the fit from when we played at Lockstock. There's only me and Kerry that were in the original lineup. And we got to a point where we were gigging, we were ready to write, and then people would leave. So you'd end up going to the very beginning to get gig fit again, you know, to the point where you could actually carry on gigging.
Yeah.
And you just completely lose focus on writing new stuff, and it goes round and round in a circle.
Yeah.
And it did get to a point last year where we were either going to quit or we were going to write the album. And we got to a point where we decided that we'd both write the album.
Yeah.
And just, even if we had to use, and we did use a few musicians that weren't in the band, we just went ahead and did it because we knew it was now or never.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
And it turned out good, to be honest. And now we've got a new drummer, we've got a new bassist, we've got a new keyboard player, and it's all fit in, and we feel like it feels good, and it feels like everybody wants to be in it for the right reason. But I totally agree. It's just that, you know, that never-ending cycle of trying to replace people that you don't necessarily want to replace. But
yeah. No, I mean, I obviously, I mean, I can't comment too much. You know, I appreciate that's something that like Camille and Jim have had to part with for years and years and years, and for sure, you know, I mean, we had a really good chat between both of us, you know, prior to the streaming thing about like the album that, you know, Jim and Camille have been working on for the last 4 years, and you know, and you know, I kind of, like, once again, kind of open up to you as well, like, you know, working on music that when you find people like coming and going all the time, does it really kind of depreciate your love for those songs and for that music that you've created?
no.
For me, it was always important to just create something perfect. And since I remember, I was recording guitars because I was thinking that one hand and one person can just make that more perfect and more much better than two people. But unfortunately, I was so wrong, because the music, it's not about the perfect, it's about that bloody difference.
Yeah.
And now from experience, I know that having two guitarists, completely different people, who's trying to achieve the one way,
And bassist.
and bassist, yeah, it's much better. And give you wider prospect of feeling and sounding, than just one person who's trying to replace everyone, every single member, to just, you know, make that perfect, you know.
Yeah.
So
Because we went from having two guitarists to one. So beforehand there was myself and somebody else, and I felt it was quite difficult to write with another guitarist, because whether it was a capability thing or an interest thing or whatever, I always felt that because I wasn't playing the full song itself, I would sometimes overcompensate and shred play too much or improvise too much, because I felt I needed to put something of value in it and appreciated the song a little bit. I enjoy being the only guitarist, but I do feel, but we've obviously got a keyboard player that does a lot of the, you know, bulking out the sound and playing different elements that a second guitarist could
working with the
potentially do.
melodies and the chords and
Yeah. So it doesn't just sound, you know, if you're playing a solo, the bottom end just doesn't drop out and things like that. So I think, you know, and even when we didn't have, you know, the new keyboardist and it was just me on guitar on my own, we did have, you know, the album tracks in the background. So we did have a certain amount of orchestration still being played. But yeah, I'm from my background of music and bands I grew up to, it was always the two guitarists, other than Extreme. I think there was always like the Maiden and Halloween and Metallica and things like that. There's only, I think, like the likes of George Lynch, Yngwie, Mr. Big, and Sabbath that really only had that one guitarist and made it sound like and maybe Alter Bridge and Creed as well. You know,
Van Halen.
Yeah. But they I think the way that they played it was a lot different than I think a lot of traditional guitarists, because they sounded, they could fill a room with their sound. You know, it wasn't just bark. You know, it wasn't just bar chords. It was.
It was like how they put the mics in the room and stuff like that.
Yeah.
was really crucial back then. You know, like people like Led Zeppelin used to spend
Yeah.
months and months just trying to get a room sound that suited
Yeah.
the guitars for Jimmy Page, and you
Yeah.
know, that sort of stuff I think is forgotten now, and that's why I have a severe hatred for VST recording. And yeah, unfortunately, I was proven wrong recently that VSTs can work as well,
Uh-huh.
but I will always love the sound of a particular studio, or a particular producer, or even down to a particular microphone, like miking up an SM57 to a cab and hearing the sound that comes out of a guitar amp from that. I just love that.
Yeah,
sound.
I like to hear something sonic come from behind me,
Yeah.
rather
Feeling,
than
as you
just
say, the
plug
vibration.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because my hearing's terrible, so I guess when the music's coming from out of front, I can't hear it, and I need to hear what I'm playing because I don't know what I'm playing most of the time. So I need to hear. I taught myself by listening along to records, and that's still how I play. I listen to it and know what notes I need to play by listening. I can't not listen to what I'm playing and play it. And I can't be bothered with all that in-ear stuff because I'm not technically astute.
Yeah, I haven't tried the in-ear thing. I really want to, but yeah, I don't know.
Scary, isn't it?
Yeah, no,
It's
I mean
like-
we
it's-
talked about like playing to a click live, and for me as a drummer, like I really don't like the idea, but I also see like the huge benefits it offers.
Yeah.
It's something that seems incredibly scary to me.
It is something that we've done. This is we
It's what we-
since 2018 we our drummer plays a click, and we have all the back. We've got the certain elements of the orchestration elements of the album as backing track. So especially when we didn't have a keyboard player and things like that, our music depended on it. The songs that we write are so heavy in accordion or keyboard or synth or whatever that we couldn't get around it any other way, especially when we couldn't find someone as capable as Martin. But I do.
No, we've stuck with it because there's so many layers on the album that it allows us to keep the full sound, and then we're doing things like with syncing light
Lights
shows and things like that.
videos and stuff like that.
Visualize.
But it does. But from I guess from a drummer's perspective, it does make you become more regimented, and I guess you can't be free.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
you can't just let loose because you've always the running of the song completely depends upon you just focusing on hitting that
I mean, to me,
beat rather than
the,
just being freehand. I don't know, but
the job of a
I
drummer is
don't
kind
think
of
I
to be
could
there
do
to keep the beat right, and to keep the
Yeah.
time, and then when there's someone else keeping the time, to me, it maybe slightly loses sense. But at the same time, like, I mean, I use this example. I heard Stone Sour, who I love listening to Stone Sour. But they obviously released a live album a couple of years ago, and they play a song on there called Knievel Has Landed, and you listen to the album version and then you listen to the live version, it's like 15 BPM faster, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's massive. It's fucking huge, like, but it's got so much energy, and it's just got so much feel to it. And it's purely because it's just you're in the moment, man. Like, you're on stage and you're vibing. You're feeding off the crowd, and you've got that thing going, and and the adrenaline's going. And I just think if then you got something in the ear going, you're like.
The one thing we did find though was funny. We because we were so used to playing with click tracks, you can work out how long your set needs to be. Because you got 30 minutes, 40 minutes. You can work it out. And we played a couple of gigs without the click track, and it was sped up so much that we had about 10 minutes left.
Yeah, you finished like 10 minutes early. Yeah,
we finished 10 minutes early. It's like, what do we do now? We've only learned these songs. It's like, oh no.
We used to do like a band. The band I played in before Hedra. We used to play Cowboys from Hell by Pantera, and but we would play it like noticeably slower for that reason. Cause it was always like the last song we played, so it was like just chill out. Like, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I think that's part of being a musician as well. Is I think like playing sometimes without the click, you can also play slower. I think that comes across as well to a live audience. That shows a band that is in control.
Yeah.
You know, on those certain songs where you can slow it down, and I think sometimes it sounds even better. You know, so
Yeah, you
I
can jam it.
personally like that. You know, that push and pull effect of, you know, let's slow this down, let's speed this up, and whatnot.
Yeah,
But definitely something
you can
talked
change
about
your
with,
dynamics to the gig, can't you?
yeah, completely. You know, and
Yeah,
feed off the crowd.
I miss it. I miss it a lot because I've seen like you know, Meshuggah and my idol is like Devin Townsend. I think I worship everything he does because he's just such a fucking genius with regards to recording and performing. But I wouldn't be able to. I've been to several of Devin Townsend's gigs as an example. I wouldn't be able to tell one from the other because every single one was just spot on, and you
Yeah.
know the backing tracks were there covering up any mistakes that might have been there, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm fucking bored of this shit already, you know. And after about like 20 minutes of seeing him play, same
Devin,
with
we're really sorry.
Tesseract.
You know, we're not
Yeah.
bored. It's cool. You the guy.
And
Like,
no, I made a point of saying, you know, I love it. I love his music, and I've followed him since I was about fucking 18. So, you know, and it's bands like Tesseract, they're the same. I love them to bits, and Daniel Tompkins' voice is unbelievably
Yeah. I saw them in
perfect.
Grasshopper a couple of years ago. They were amazing.
And but again, you know, it's like they're playing to a click track, and then the fucking soul and energy is just not there for me.
Do you think it's
But
the
you
type
got
of
the
music, it's the
Iron Maiden.
technicality of the music that allows them to do that, though? You know, do you think that
definitely
they
best
need
part.
to be like, especially Meshuggah, because they have the light show coordinated to it? You don't think you'd get away with not doing that, could you?
I know.
It's just-
but even they admitted they were fucked off of it, and the
Yeah.
last album they did was a live one, wasn't it? Pretty much.
Yeah.
They got fed up with using the whole click thing and did it live, and I don't think it went down as well as they hoped.
No.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about this many shows ago about. I think we were talking to Shrapnel and said like, we just need a band to do something like that. Like, you know, don't do the norm. Don't play along to a click. Don't do that. Make an album that sounds rough around the edges, just like it used to be 20 years ago. And as you say, a band does that, and it's like, whoa, like, what were you drinking that day? You know. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? It's amazing, kind of that side of music where the kind of organic feel to it can kind of be vilified at the same time, and it's kind of, you know, once again twisting and balancing and trying to get that right balance, I guess. So.
Well, again, yeah, absolutely. Especially with the technology, it can be quite tempting to just overproduce it to the point where you have to, and you go over, you put so much production into the music that you can't play it live without it because it's a completely different song, or you rely on it, and you rely on it to actually make the music and cover up your lack of my lack of ability to.
Oh man, we're not talking about you here. Leave it out, man. Come on.
Oh no. Well, I clearly do. I clearly recognize it.
No way, man. I've heard your music. You don't. That's a fact. But yeah, no.
I would say that, you know, the last year or so, during the lockdown thing, your band has become probably one of the most noticed bands out of any of the underground scenes. I mean, I see it everywhere, and you've had like, I think #1 album with HRH magazine. I noticed that. And
You've been really lucky.
You've just been,
Come on, man. Ain't luck.
Been top of the charts for the last year, as far as I'm concerned.
No, we've had a good year, and I think it was a relief, a massive relief, because the way that me and Kerry wrote it, it was like a child. You know, we were doing it we were writing every night, and we were producing it, and like for about a year and a half, every night, and it became really as personal as anything I've ever done. And you just go, oh, I hope someone likes it. You know, you just your fingers are crossed, and then when it does blow up, it's about then finding it's not then when it becomes to a point where people like it, you've got to then really work out a way to just keep it keeping, talking to the people and keeping people interested in it, and trying not to kind of let it get up your arse a little bit, because I think that can be quite easy to do as well.
Yeah.
We've been really lucky. Because I listen to it and I can't believe it's me playing. So it's like it's one of those things where everybody really just put
Work
everything
your
into
asses
it.
off. Yeah.
Yeah, man. But
Yeah,
I
I think
like,
that's the thing. When you really work your ass off, it does become a little bit of an unbelievable thing. Like you say, you put it. I don't know if you're like me, but when I've recorded something, I'll put it away for a while and not listen to it, and then like I'll listen to it again. And go, oh my god, did I do that?
I think I was a little bit different. This was the first because we recorded it at home on our computer. Well, the demos on our computer. I downloaded the demos onto my phone, and I'd listen to it every day, and try to listen to it and go, does this work? Doesn't it work? And change little bits of it afterwards, and and I actually really enjoyed listening to it. And it wasn't like this is my band. I love listening to my band. It was what Kerry wrote and the way that she sung it, and the way that I don't know, some notes even I played. It's like, how did I do that? And so certainly with some of the riffs I've done, I record on my phone, like probably you guys do as well. If you always think of a riff when you're nowhere near your guitar or your drums, or near any. So I've got loads of whistles on my phone, whistling tunes and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just something really personal. But I'm just looking forward now to getting out, and I think that would be the big defining thing, is how many people actually want to come and see it. I think that'll be good, and talking to people face to face.
Yeah, for sure, man.
So,
Like,
scary,
yeah,
innit?
definitely, man. Yeah, very scary, very fucking scary.
I'm a little bit scared about going back out and
yes.
doing
How long has
again.
it been since your last gig?
I don't know.
Jesus
Well,
Christ.
last one we had in 2019. That was November, I think.
Yeah,
or
so
December.
we came down to Norwich, played Ragnarok
Right, okay.
in November 19. That was the last gig that we played. It
How
took
the
us
hell
that
did I
long.
miss
It
that
took us
one?
that long to get there as well.
Yeah, it's a long way, isn't it, from where you guys are?
Yeah.
I'll send her nowhere. But it's a nice holiday place up in Norfolk,
Is it?
If you ever need to get away, it's so chilled out here. It's great.
Welcome anytime. Yeah, no.
If you have a beer, everywhere is nice,
Yeah.
Well,
Apart
we're
from Peckham,
building
maybe.
a studio as well, so when we get that finished, we'll be inviting like anybody that we've interviewed here to come and have a party with us and record
That sounds good.
songs and stuff. So yeah, that's
Huge
something
rock
that's an
festival.
exclusive that you've heard about on Twitch,
Yes.
A Twitch world.
the gaming station.
Yeah.
It's not a gaming station. Come on, man. Come on. I'm trying to change this.
Do you play games or not, David?
I play one pretty badly.
All right, yeah.
I like Assassin's Creed as a franchise, or I like the first few anyway, and I still buy the new ones as almost like a hope that it becomes what it used to be. But yeah, I don't play it very well, but I enjoy kind of disappearing into that world a bit.
Yeah, you can kind of switch off from the real world. So, Jim, why are you asking questions about games? You haven't played games. The last game you
We're
played
on
was
Twitch.
Tetris, wasn't it?
No.
Your old Game Boy.
I'm into the old Star Wars thing. I'm playing Rogue Squadron at the minute. Like,
How are you?
On my, I've got like the VR stuff.
Oh God,
Wow,
no!
look at that.
Please. No.
Yeah.
See, I just think of Red Dwarf when I see those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Bill can't handle it.
The gunmen of the apocalypse.
That one as well when it's got what's his name, Brian Cox in it as well, when he ends up shagging the wife of whoever Brian Cox is. Yeah, it's I watched that one the other day, and it cracked me up. It really did. It cracked me up. That's an Ace Rimmer one, I think. I think Series 6. Series 6.
Ace, yeah. The one where they've got the VR. That's the gunman, the apocalypse, isn't it? Where they go and they contract a virus and they all become cowboys.
Yeah, because they lose their powers, don't they? And then
Yeah,
Rimmer's supposed to be, and just starts doing the
Yeah.
clap thing. Fucking man, I love that series so much. I watch that like nearly every night. So huge.
I do
Red Dwarf
actually.
fan.
I've got it on my iPhone, and I
Oh, have
use
you?
it to kind of shut the voices up in my head when I go to bed.
Yeah, for me it's either that, Simpsons, or Futurama. Like those are my three. Like if I need to, like you say, turn the brain off, I'll sit and watch one of them.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
for me, like Red Dwarf is some of the best like British comedy like ever. I think it's so like niche as well that like and the writing that goes into it, like that and Bottom. Bottom is my all-time favorite. I don't know if you're a fan
Yeah.
or not, but
Yeah. You like the young ones, don't you, Mark?
Yeah, I prefer the young ones.
oh, do you? Oh, okay. I suppose like the smuttiness of Bottom that really gets me. I think it's, I don't know, that whole kind of like low life thing where they're.
It's like
Yeah.
uh,
Have you
it's
seen?
missing Neil.
Yeah.
Neil's like
oh,
the
Neil's
greatest
brilliant.
character in
Yeah,
the
absolutely
world.
brilliant. So good. Have you watched either of them, Camille?
No, I love. I mean, the bottom. I saw a couple episodes, but my favorite is IT Crowd. Oh God, I just
Oh,
love
really?
it.
Yeah.
You know the Moss and Roy. They're actually hilarious. You know, and Jane always coming. You know, trying to make that think about computer. But what every time when they say something, she just can hear like
Yeah.
because you know it's like it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant show. You know.
I never really got into the IT Crowd. I have to be honest.
Oh God,
You always
you
talk about
should
the
watch.
IT crap.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Oh, man.
yeah, or that episode when Jane have that day of the month when they say red high tie or something like that, and they all synchronize, you know. So you know, Moss he just chucked the screen on the wall. You know, Roy is really sensitive about everything. You know, oh God, it's brilliant. Honestly, it's brilliant.
You're not like that, honestly.
Pardon?
He's like that.
Trying to cause a
He is
fight?
like that.
Like, what's going on? Cool.
That's why she's pregnant, so she's not like that anymore.
Right. Cool. So like, what are you guys like coming up then? For this year then, have you got any gigs booked at all? Or please tell us about those, man.
Yeah, we've got Halloween one, which is going to be more or less one of our first gigs doing the new album. We're playing Hard Rock Hell in November,
Excellent.
Dementia Fest in November, and then we've got the album launch, which has been rescheduled about 2 billion times.
Mm.
So it's actually become the anniversary gig, hasn't it?
Yeah.
They rolled it all into
So the
one.
Hard Rock Hell is that one up? Is that one up our way? Isn't it in Great Yarmouth?
Yeah, Great Yarmouth, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be there.
Well, we might have to be there.
We'll
might
be there.
Yeah, it looks, it's a really good lane, like
It's
we
a really
tried-
good lineup,
we-
but
yeah,
Yeah,
Ugly
that's
Kid
awesome.
Joe, and it's like all the bands I grew up listening
Yeah.
to. It's like, this is crazy.
Yeah, but it's Great Yarmouth. That's the downside.
Yeah, I've never been.
Just be
It's
careful.
my gran and granddad used to go, so I'm just
Be
assuming it's full of.
We
old
live
people.
nearby, but we still don't go.
Yeah. Basically, what
It's
you'll
like the
find
place
is like,
you don't want to go.
yeah, the crowd will like they'll crawl out
Offside
of
is
the
nicer.
sea and then they'll crawl back into the sea at night.
Okay, web
yeah.
feet. and web
Sorry,
fingers and
Yarkos.
things.
I'll
But
make
yeah.
me feel right at home. That.
You'll be fine.
Yarkos.
Yeah, just
Is that what you call them?
yeah, Yarkos. My best advice for that is buy lots and lots of gaffer tape and then tape your pockets because they'll grab what they can. But yeah, no, yeah, for sure, man. We'll yeah. I don't know what the other guys are doing, but yeah, it'd be great to hang out and come see you guys play.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
man, that'd be insane.
Yeah, I think I had
so.
plans to go anyway. So yeah.
When are you guys gigging next? You're focusing
Yeah.
on the album or you're gigging?
What's the?
Were you
what's-
holding your hand up?
Yeah, I'm pointing to you, Jim. When's please tell
Are we?
the shows we've
Yeah.
got booked, my friend.
Oh, I
Go on,
can't
Jim.
remember now.
Oh fucking
No,
hell!
you do it.
Give it the big fucking build up. Why not? You're the front man. You should know.
No.
Yo, man, I'm the guy that sits at the back and beats shit up, man. Don't look at me.
Well,
I
I've
think
got
the
some
first-
gigs in London.
You.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have one in June, in the end of the June, and one at the beginning of July.
3rd of July,
we
we've
have
got
one
the-
in September and one in August. I can't remember exactly dates right now. However, yeah,
You're looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Shit in
we've
my
been
pants.
scheduled for around like 5 or 6 gigs this year, so far.
I don't
it's
I don't
okay.
know what you're like, Kerry, but I'm well out of shape vocally. I mean, it's not really been that much opportunity to practice you know the strength of your vocal cords to
Yeah.
make sure.
Well, we've only just started we've only just started practicing again, so it's like starting at square one again.
It
But
is, yeah.
the biggest problem I'm having is I ain't got any lung capacity because it's all filled up by this little one.
Beer.
Beer.
Cake.
Yeah,
All these
same,
cookies.
same.
Oh God, Jim.
So I only know
Hey,
from
Jim,
last
when
time,
is yours due?
In about 15 minutes, I think.
God.
I'm baking one off right now.
So, is this where I get onto the the story about you shitting yourself, Jim? Or
No. I'm not doing every bloody session. No.
yeah, so,
Leave it.
sorry guys, this is an in joke. Every show I have to slip it in about how Jim shit himself on stage. So, yeah, so I'm sorry. Just
It's a brown sound.
slide the little poop joke in there.
Yeah.
Joke. Turtle.
Just curled one out. Yeah. Sorry,
See you
Jim.
at Hard Rock Hell.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, whatever you do, don't shake Jim's hand. You don't know where it's been.
Yeah.
If we're allowed to shake hands by then.
Yeah, I think we're allowed to hug for next week.
Oh, well, yeah, well, there we go. We
We're
a big
allowed
hug.
to be intimate.
Ooh.
Apparently, that's the quote.
Ooh.
We can be overtly intimate.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We can.
I've
Jesus, man.
been dying to give
Been
you a hug.
proposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I heard that as well. I mean, apparently you can hug. It's something like you can hug loved ones or family or something,
Yeah.
isn't it? As of next week, so yeah, fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed, everything goes away. It
I
should be next
don't
week.
have to keep pushing my children away now. Get away, you horrible bastards.
I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to. I'm just
You
being,
disease
I'm being a
spreaders.
I'm being a responsible father here. Okay,
Yeah.
you thank me when you're older.
Yeah. Get back in the cupboard.
How did you get out in the first place?
Yeah.
I thought I locked that.
Oh,
Sorry.
27th of June is our next gig, isn't it? 27th of June.
Yeah, headlining down
Go
in,
for
and then we got the 3rd of July. I think is when we're playing the Metal to the Masses.
Norwich. Yes.
In
Oh,
Norwich.
yeah.
So, yeah, but no, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
I
I
hate playing them things.
yeah, I've got a full gym going on, and I'm shitting myself ahead of the gigs. Making sure like I'm learning stuff, and we're talking about the set at the minute, and like we're sort of discussing like how we think the set's going to be best. How we can get like the most energy out of like the first gig back as well as a headlining gig. So it's like we've got 45 minutes we need to fill, and like we talked about earlier, how do you go about doing that? Do you kind of pace yourself and say, yeah, we'll get a good solid 45 minutes, and we're going to stick to that, or do you plan for an hour, or how do you work your stagecraft, all these things? So it's yeah, we've got so many things we need to think about.
We've got to build a set, haven't we? We've got it.
There's so much.
We went out
Already.
today to find timber to build a stage production.
Right.
And we've got to build monsters and props and all sorts of fiery things.
Awesome.
So there's not. I probably haven't focused enough on the music as much as I should have, but
Yeah, but
keyboards will cover that.
in all fairness, yeah, but by the sound of it,
We're
like,
just all relying on Martin.
Yeah,
to
just
make us
Martin,
sound-
make us sound good. Just
There you go,
press that
Martin.
key.
there you go.
Yeah.
Do your thing, my friend.
I haven't got any stomach muscles anymore, so just
And to be fair, I'm not gonna lie, like, I think music's pretty cool, but monsters and shit that catches on fire sounds even cooler.
I think we're really gonna have to rely on that because we're not gonna sound the part.
You sound awesome.
No,
don't worry.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. So cool. Yeah, we're kind of getting to that point where we start to wrap the show up. I want to ask you guys, like,
Already?
yeah,
Fucking hell.
I know, dude.
gone
Fucking
quick,
blink and you
hasn't
miss
it?
it. Blink and you miss it. I couldn't even reel out my usual interview questions of where do you start playing music, who's your influences, all that shit, all the
Oh,
boring
yeah.
shit. So that's really good. Glad I didn't have to ask the boring
Yeah,
shit.
it's gone well.
But yeah,
So why are you called Hedra?
Camille,
Why did
can you
get
tell?
the band name Hedra?
Camille, explain that one.
Oh,
Sorry, could you?
Yeah, Kerry was asking, where did the name Hedra come from?
the generic question.
the Hedra, I was, you know, to be honest, right now I'm not sure. I had a dream in the past to
You
like.
said you'd come up with a name.
You did.
Yes, I came with name. It's just that was the time when that was a long time ago. I would say before Hedra, and
Drunk a
I
lot of
had
whiskey.
that weird dream, you know, with someone say Hedra, 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 and I just came with that name for a band, and that's stick for to us, you know. There was the one of the previous guitarist Simon. He was trying change that, provide something like oh god, I can't even remember, something about drill in the brain or something like that. However, we stick with Hedra,
Brain drill.
and I think
So basically, what
short
you're saying
night-
is you had a dream and it was in the dream.
yes.
What else was in the dream?
Yeah. You could have cut it to that, you know.
Was there anything else in the dream?
That's how we got to an hour.
Was it a wet dream?
Uh-huh.
Divine intervention.
Yeah, maybe. You never know.
Jim is
Or
You
the
stop
bane of
being
my
like
fucking life.
Jim is like my best friend and translator as well. So basically, I could just talk like that or be completely drunk and just give vibration, and he will feel like, what?
Just nod and smile.
Man.
That's why he's the
Thanks,
vocalist.
Jim.
Oh, bless you.
Oh, such love.
You need to
Such
start
love.
being like
Your little heart
Meatloaf.
sounds- Yeah.
He doesn't answer the same question in the same way twice. And he's just been making up the answers to you for years in every interview, to the point where nobody even knows how old he is.
Everyone just thinks he's mad, but I think like he's really playing people. I think it's
I
great.
like it.
Yeah.
Like the Boris Johnson of music. So, it's
God.
amazing.
Boris Johnson. That was nice. That was very
Thank you. You're welcome. So you heard it here first. Meatloaf is a Boris Johnson music. I don't know how to feel about that. I think I've made it. I've created a monster there. But yeah,
Yeah, you're giving Boris Johnson too much credit there. I
yeah,
think.
way too much, way too much. That suggests he has some kind of talent, and it's quite
Yeah,
obviously doesn't. So
some kind of ability to use.
his only talent is getting like stuck on zip lines and rugby
Yeah.
tackling little kids. So,
Shaking
which,
other people's hands
Yeah.
during a pandemic.
which
I would do anything but Brexit, but I won't do that.
oh, dude, there we go. There we go. That's mate, parody. It's common.
Yeah.
There's got to be a YouTube guy watching this. Or make that happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to obviously ask where can like the guys that obviously watching this on Twitch, where the guys that are going to be watching this later on YouTube and Facebook, where can we find the links to follow Ward 16, and where can we hear your music, and where can we buy your merch?
Okay. You can find us on Facebook, so it's facebook.com/Ward16. That's XVI, not XV1, X1V, or any other connotation that
I'll
you
type it in
could
the chat.
imagine. We're trying to use YouTube a little. We've got a YouTube channel. We're not very good at it. All our videos are on it, but we don't seem to have any followers. We're trying to work out a way how to do it, but we're pretty useless at that. We are the first album's on Spotify, and we still do put the singles on. We're on Bandcamp, so you can listen to our album a few times on Bandcamp. So it's ward16.bandcamp.com because if you've got about 12 hours to pre-order our vinyl before it goes off the pre-order. Instagram, I've got that blocked again because I keep messing around with it. Yeah, all the
You make
usual
it
stuff.
sound great.
Yeah, really brilliant. All the usual places, really, isn't it? We
Yeah.
try. We've got a Facebook group as well, the inmates of Ward 16, which the algorithms on Facebook now are so terrible for bands, and the
Yeah.
admin pages that we've opened up a more like a group page where we can interact a lot more and talk to loads of people,
Awesome.
which I feel is a lot better than Facebook seems to be choking the
Yeah.
music
It's
at the
killing off.
moment. So
Fucking bollocks, isn't it? I fucking hate Facebook, you fucking wankers.
Yeah, Zuckerberg, you prick.
but the
Sorry
difficult
to the
bit
little-
was, but that was all that was available for the last year and a half,
Yeah,
isn't it?
exactly.
And
Yeah,
instead
yeah.
of trying to open it out to people and try
Just
to make it
starved
more
it.
interactive, it's just such a pain in the ass.
Choking everyone from it, aren't they?
Yeah.
Fuckwits. I mean,
Bring back
exactly, especially-
MySpace.
Yeah. Oh, mate.
Yeah.
That's what you need.
Yeah.
Come on.
Friends-
we
You
need
know
a
why
movement.
people jump ship. My
Friends
place was
reunited.
great.
We need to form a movement.
Yeah.
MySpacers. Oh, awesome. Also, before we say goodbye, firstly, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you guys. So thank you so much for coming and chatting to us, us idiots on a Sunday, man. We super appreciate it.
No problem.
But obviously, lastly, I'd like to ask you one last question, which tends to be the worst question of the night. So I'm sorry, children. Might want to put your fingers in your ears. Might want to tune out now. You know,
Don't
yourself,
play this back later in
exactly.
life, will you?
Get yourself to bed. Exactly. Make yourself a Vimto and just off your toddle. So I think Mark, are you coming through on the microphone, man? So we can't hear you. No. Having trouble hearing you, my friend. Because I wanted to put this to you, was to ask whether you could pick a number between 1 and 30 for me, if I can get an answer from you. If you've been so quiet, I want to open this up to you.
It's
He's been talking all the way through.
I know.
I think he's on dial-up.
Oh no, you're not on AOL.
No, there you go.
He's got it
Hear
like
us?
set up so it's like on a replay.
Yeah. Oh, he's gone.
Working on
Oh,
it.
he's
He's
gone.
working on it. Okay.
No. Okay. What number?
Between 1 and 30.
23.
23. Cool. A high number. I'm liking that. Okay. Would you rather be a tree that can feel pain or a snail that would never die?
That's a very nice question.
Exactly.
Compared to most of them.
Trees can
Well,
live
you know, we do have a child present, Jim, so, you know, it has to be, you know, very polite. None of the naughty stuff that I know Camille gets very excited about. I mean, I don't want to see Camille's, you know, anymore, so... so yeah, would you rather be a tree that feels pain or a snail that would never die?
It depends. If I'm like a fir tree, then I'll be alright with that because it won't last very long. But if I'm like an oak tree, then that's a long time.
Yeah, exactly. That's a lot of suffering and having people wee against you.
You'd only feel pain if someone inflicted it. It's not like everybody comes hacking trees.
Yeah. I think Saruman.
I don't know.
So
I mean,
if you live next door to Saruman, you'd be buggered.
this is true. This is very true. And also, I used to mountain bike a lot,
Up in the
and I
tree.
crashed into a lot of trees. A lot of trees. See?
And if you're a tree, and if you're a tree, squirrels keep putting their nuts in it.
Exactly. Do you want to have your like people dipping their nuts in you for like years and years and years?
Well, you're asking the wrong person.
No, no. We're just theorising. We're just jamming. We're throwing some shapes out there. You know,
Yeah. She wants to be a tree now. I shouldn't have said anything.
just years and years of dribbling sap
Yeah.
everywhere. Oh
She wants
God.
squirrels to teabag her all night.
Whoa. I don't know how to respond to that.
I'll just be a slug that never dies.
A snail.
Pretty much
Jim.
what I am anyway.
Would it be what size? Would the squirrel? Would the snail be almost the same size as the snail in the Never-Ending Story, or would it be a really small snail?
Just a normal snail. Just
small snail. I'll be
every
a
day.
tree.
Yeah, everyday snail.
No, a tree. I'd be a tree.
Even if someone stood on you as a snail, you wouldn't die, would you? So you'd eventually lose your
You'd
shell.
be a slug.
You'd be
Yeah.
a slug.
You'd be homeless.
And imagine like
be
you do that thing where like you as a kid where you'd poke the snail in the eye because it was funny because like his eye would go look and it like suck inside. Like imagine people doing like that to you for like days on end. Like, you bastard, fuck off! I'm just trying to look, man. Like, do you mind?
Just trying to watch snail porn.
Pardon my language as well. I know it's a child present. My bad. Sorry. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah. Don't swear in front of Camille.
Yeah. Camille, what would you rather be then? Would you rather be a snail that would never die or a tree that couldn't feel pain? Was it could feel pain? Sorry.
I think snail, you know.
A snail.
Slowly, but forward.
Yeah. I think it'd probably be a good thing if you couldn't die. 'Cause, you know what I mean? You could just like someone might go, "Oh, fucking snail," and just kick you. Once again, apologise about language. Kick you, and then you end up at the road. You know what I mean? You're happy days, mate. You've gained what would take 2 or 3 days' work.
Never-ending story.
Yeah. So Actually, I
God.
don't know. I think the snail thing. I think it's a resounding win for the snail, personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Sean? What did you say?
I,
Tree.
oh, snail, mate. Snail all day long, mate.
Oh, you're a snail.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Like I said, I'll get places quicker. People couldn't kill me. You know what I mean? But oh, fucking pick me up. And just, oh, yeah, great. Yeah, great. I'm where I wanted to go anyways, and it saved me a couple of days. It's like having a travel ticket on the London Underground. Brilliant.
Yeah.
No,
Like
no.
being on a rail station.
Profound.
That's it.
I don't know. Taking this way too far, as always. So, snail.
Yep.
Going snail.
Yeah.
Going snail.
Yeah.
Going snail. Once again, guys, man, thank you so much. Thank you for coming hanging out with us two idiots. Us three idiots, sorry. Those two idiots. I'm sane. With on a Sunday night and giving your Sunday away to come hang with us, guys, man. Thank you so much.
No, it's been cool. Thanks so much for inviting us.
Ah, not at all, man.
Thank
Not at
you.
all. Saying I love
Finally got to you.
it. Man, we look forward to seeing you guys out in
Yeah.
Yarmouth, man. So, you
Well,
know,
I mean, am I going to see you at Bloodstock as well or not? You going to Bloodstock?
Yeah, we'll be. Well, hopefully, yeah. If baby hasn't popped out,
Still be
If it
better.
hasn't.
yeah.
I've seen
Yeah,
a whole
you
bit
guys
on
going
the
to Bloodstock as well? You going
2 months.
Yeah, yeah,
grab a pint?
thinking about it.
definitely.
If Sabaton get announced, I'm there.
They won't.
That's my get out of jail free card.
You just need to go there for Judas Priest.
I do, man. I do need to go. I mean, the lineup looks so good as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, it looks like a big
Yeah.
party this year, doesn't it?
Insane,
God, it's
Yeah.
going to be huge. It's going to be huge.
insane. So yeah, okay. If Sabaton get announced, then that's
And,
it.
and if
I'll
not,
pass.
if not, it'll be at the HRH.
Definitely. Well, we'll definitely have a pint. Probably see you at Bloodstock. We haven't been there for
Yeah.
ages, have we? So
Can't wait. Cannot wait. Once again, guys on Twitch, guys on YouTube, guys on Facebook, please check out Ward 16. So yeah, thanks again, guys. Thank you so much.
cheers.
All right.
Thank you very much.